Welcome to the Southeast Oklahoma Library System's Digital Art Virtual Program. We are going to be drawing the planet Saturn using the app Procreate on the iPad. Along with the iPad, I am using the Apple Pencil. So if you are ready, let's get started. Alright, let's first open up Procreate. And let's go ahead and create a new canvas. And let's pick this screen size canvas for this project. I'll zoom out just a little bit. Alright, let's first make a circle. And I want this to be orange. So let's give that a try. And for our brush, let's pick from the calligraphy library and then pick our monoline brush. And let's draw a circle. Hold down the finger on the canvas to make a perfect circle. I'm going to use this arrow up here to move it toward the center. There we are. Now we're in the center. So let's drag our color and fill it in there. Now let's create another layer, and this time I'm going to start drawing my rings around the planet. For this, I think I do want a little bit of a lighter color. So let's just lighten it up just a little bit, maybe about like that. I'm going to stay on my monoline brush, and let's draw a circle here. We can move it around. Now we can also resize our circle, but in order not to squish our circle, we'll want to use the uniform option, and that way it will keep the same aspect ratio. Maybe about like that. All right. Let's create another layer and add another circle around it. Maybe about like that. Let's see, it looks like it's about even on all sides. Maybe drag this side just a little bit. Now what we want to do is fill in the area between the two circles. So what we want to do, let's merge these two layers here, and we do that just by pinching our fingers together, just like that. And now let's drag that, and there we go. We got our first ring made. Now let's add another layer, and let's go ahead and draw another ring. And this one I'm going to keep pretty close to it. There we go. Hold down your finger. And this one I'm going to keep. I don't want a real big circle this time. Maybe about like that. Maybe a little more in right there. All right, let's do it again here. I'm going to keep this one pretty close as well. I'll go back and fix it. There we go. Keep that pretty close. Maybe about like that. Now let's go ahead and merge those two together. There we go. I'm going to fill in that area. Well, I missed. There we go. All right, let's add one more ring. Alrighty. Get that kind of close there. Maybe about like that. And just for variation, let's go ahead and let's turn down the opacity on this one a little bit. Let's do it on this one as well. Maybe about like that. Now they look a little different, but we want to position the rings around the planet. So what we want to do here is let's go ahead and merge our ring layers together, just like that. Now let's go to our tool, arrow tool, and for this let's do distort. And let's pull this on back here. As you can see, it's we can position that maybe about like that. Yeah, let's pull that down this way. I'm liking that okay, so let's unselect it there. And what we want to do here is we don't want this to be over the planet right there. We want it to look like it's going behind there. So what we want to do here is let's click on our planet layer. Let's click our selection tool. Let's click automatic, select the planet. Now let's go back to our ring layer. Now we can erase that ring, but if you notice, it will not erase anything outside the planet because we don't have that selected. So that's a good way to do that. All right, I think that is okay right there. So I'm gonna unselect that. And I think what we want to do now is kind of give the planet a little bit of texture. So for this, I'm going to go with a darker red. Let's select the Flicks brush. Let's just kind of go over it like this. Fill it in just like that. Maybe about like that. I think that looks okay. So I think with the same brush, let's get some rings, kind of paint some rings on the planet itself. So let's darken that a little bit more. Let's see what this looks like. About like that. That. Yeah, let's do some lighter colors as well. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to use the same brush and just do some lighter colors of it. So let's go ahead and kind of give our ring a little bit of a, make it look a little bit more interesting. And the way to do that, I am going to create a mask layer, and I'm going to drag black on top of it there. And then I'm going to go to I'm actually going to stay on my Flix brush there, and I'm going to color that in white, just like that. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and make our background color. Be about like that. Let's go ahead and go to alpha lock on our ring layer, and I'm going to put some purple, light purple, on our ring layer, just to give it a little bit more texture. Maybe about like that. I think I'm going to do some white on there as well. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to do some blue, light blue on there as well. Maybe about like that. Maybe a little bit more whites. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. All right, I think to finish up, let's go ahead and add another layer. Let's move that below the planet. And to make this look a little bit more like space, let's go ahead and go to our luminous brush library, and let's click on this nebula brush. And for this, let's try this light blue right here. And what I'm going to do is just kind of go like that, yeah. Maybe like that. Maybe a little bit of light purple in there as well. And I think to finish this up, let's go ahead and get a white, and let's go back to our luminous brush library, and let's click on this glimmer brush. Now for this, I want to make sure that under the dynamics settings, I want to make sure the size is set to max, and then on our stroke path, spacing is set to max and jitter is set to max. And I want to do this on a layer above our sky layer. Now I'm just going to go in here and kind of maybe about like that. I think I'm going to turn down the nebula a little bit, maybe about like that. Let's see what that looks like. One more thing I want to do is I want to add a shadow on the back of the planet here. So for this, let's add a layer above the planet layer. And for this, I want to make a selection, and I'm going to do an ellipse, and I'm going to kind of, let's try it about right there. I'm going to invert that, and what I'm going to do, there we go. Have to make sure that's a clipping mask. For this, I want to set it to multiply. We can also turn down the opacity. We can also select it, and let's go to freeform, or yeah, freeform is good. I can move this around just like that. Let's try that. I think that it's a little harsh between the shadow and the where the light is shining at. So I think what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to unselect all that, go to my magic wand, go to Gaussian blur, and let's crank that up a little bit there. Yeah, maybe about like that. So we are complete. Remember, you can always share your canvas. You can export it as a JPEG, PNG, or any file you want, and send it to your email or send it to somebody in your contacts. If you like this program, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.